Personal injury. How do you get personal injury? Personal injury is when you are affected as a person by something that transpired. Um, and I remember it was one of my children was in the fourth and fifth grade, wherein the preference was let mommy come, not versus me. Because the kids in the school weren't exposed to a person with a disability. Nobody on the teaching staff, no one really interacted with these children. So you were something to be made fun of or laughed at or scared about. It was interesting because the fourth and fifth grade experience changed when she went to middle school because middle school required an advocate. That wheelchair that was patrolling the hallways while she was in school. Why was I patrolling the hallways when she was in school? Because no one really wanted to give me a job in the school system, so I was volunteering to help preserve the quality of education in the school system. So then the next experience similar to that, what more profound was with my other child, and it was more of really, I don't want you to be there because people don't understand you. So that was a male perspective. And it was during the rough time to divorce and so forth. So um, that lack of diversity and open and competitive caused a personal injury, and that even nowadays, open houses, they're teenagers now, but still carried forth, kept going. Teenagers in that now I got a raggedy old car out there that I can't really afford to fix. And what ends up happening is a conscious decision was to not place the moms on child support. But now the moms is the savior because the child support money is now being manifested in purchasing of cars and other things. But the biggest thing for me is the continuation of what happened in elementary school for these kids is that, again, no role models in the school system. Um, and as a result, no employment. No employment means it's probably now about $180,000, $190,000 in student loans and living in poverty. Um, that's what it's manifested itself. What is the manifestation? The manifestation is the discrimination, 1990s, 70s, whatever you want to call it. Supposedly give the handicapped a job, and I premised my education on thinking I would get a job because I felt like, well, they won't give me a job unless I got my education. Then I get my education, and they still won't give me a job. So discrimination is still forward, and here it's worse because this is North Carolina, the heart of discrimination, and it's prejudicial and it's racist. What do you mean? Racist is when the Caucasians are in power and they implement their strategies of racism against the minorities. But here's the thing: the minorities are engaged in the same type of discrimination. Either way, biggest thing is that is a person with disability is that person with disability tend to have disabled friends more so than not because that's our community, that's our circle. But disabled friends tend to be on a check and not be employed because most of the time they can't get a job. So you don't have the role models in the school system for these kids or other places because there's no wheelchairs in there. There's no handicapped people working in these facilities and places. So it's just as bad if a black or Hispanic person engages in prejudicial type stuff as a white person engaging in racism. That's the two United States. That's the reality. And how have I been affected? It's giving away. Giving away when those special events come to say, go with your moms. Because the pride that they have in walking alongside moms is better than the stigma of walking alongside a wheelchair with their dad. Um, and that's the personal injury for me because it's need not be so. If I had a job and had a Cadillac outside, it would be a different story, I would think. And if people worked in the school system with disabilities, people's exposures to the disabled would be more intelligence, more understanding. But the the injury is just ravaging. And as I'm in my living room and I look at walls, floors that need to be redone, and stuff that I can't do because I can't just hire a contractor because I ain't got money because I can't get a job because there's no open and competitive hiring down here. So it's a personal effect. Um, you go to my siblings' houses, they got the massive houses, brand new cars. For example, something basic. I wanted a dog to replace my dog that died 2 years ago. The price of dogs are $600 and plus nowadays. My siblings, they all just go down there and get another dog and lay the money out. I can't even do that. So a longing for me just to have a companion to replace someone I lost, some I consider penny someone. It's just rough. So what ended up happening, I just adopted a cat, kitten, Siren. And it's just because he was free. He was famished. They found him on the street. Neighbors were going from house to house trying to find him a home. And he was a male, and I gave him a home. But it's personal injury in that I cannot be that father, that lustrous father with gold on around him and nice, reasonable car, because no one's going to hire. So the plea and the understanding that I ask is that if you can help a person with a disability, do so, especially if you're in the church or religious institution. Especially. It's your God's command for that. So God bless. Just wanted to share that for you. Take care.